Hey, it's Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst show. And look, December is almost over, so why don't we give some fun things away? Hey, I've got 2 tickets to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey's Greatest Show on Earth, Saturday, January 18th. 100% yours. Text your name and your email to 704-906-2094. We'll draw them at the end of the year. I'm also going to gift you a $100 gift card so that when you're at the event, you can get some awesome snacks, have a great time. Hey, it's 100% free. It's all on us from the Ask Dr. Ernst show and News Talk 1110 WBT. All you have to do is text your name and your email to 704-906-2094. Once again, 704-906-2094. The show is Saturday, January 18th. Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey, the greatest show on earth, plus a $100 gift card from us to you. Text your first name, your last name, and your email to 704-906-2094, and you could win.
Beyond wine, we really care about health. The health of the planet and the health of each other. That's what inspired us to start this business. Our family of team members meets every morning for a group meditation, followed by an open gratitude session. We believe a sound mind with a focus on peace is the best instrument for change. Joint meditation is the cornerstone of our company culture, and it helps us remember what's important, spreading joy and love, just like our family growers. Our family is a collection of passionate, health-conscious individuals who love to laugh and enjoy each other's company. We eat seasonally, grow our own vegetables, cook together, and share wine. Our team is incredibly dedicated to our mission. Everything from sourcing the wines to answering service questions. Your natural wines were found and sourced around the world by our wine team. They taste every one, oversee their lab testing, and choose exactly which ones go in which box. If you order, your individual box will be packed by our incredibly hardworking fulfillment team. If you have any questions, your service requests will be handled by our wonderfully loving member experience family, who only have one goal in mind, your 100% happiness. This video is put together by our talented media team, filmed and edited in-house, just like the rest of our artful media. From our unique creations to our printed lifestyle piece called A Matter of Taste. We put love into everything we do, and we hope to share it with you.
What if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind. How can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1. We search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2. We test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3. We nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Welcome to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Ernst. Hey, we're here today with a very special broadcast. Unfortunately, the Tar Heels are doing amazing, which is actually a good thing for them, but it's a bad thing for us because it means I'm off the airways. But we're coming at you live every single week like we always do with our streaming channels. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I believe even Twitter, etc. But if you are watching us, then it means you're already online. Today's show is a natural guide towards expanding the conversation about weight loss during the winter season. As you can see, we're going to be discussing how your nervous system has so much more to do with your ability to lose weight than what you have given it credit for. I know you might be thinking, oh, Dr. Ernst, you've got to be kidding me. Like, my nervous system controls my weight. Isn't it the amount of food I eat? Isn't it the amount of exercise I do? Isn't it everything you said last week, the amount of fasting I'm doing, the amount of supplements I'm taking? True, all involved, but remember, weight loss is not just about diet and exercise. It's about optimizing your master system, which is your nervous system. I mean, think about it. What gives you the power to move your muscles to work out? Your brain sending signals down your spinal cord over the nerve roots to your muscles themselves. What helps you to absorb the nutrients when you eat those better foods and you're following your intermittent guides? What tells your stomach how to regulate the hormones and how to digest your foods? What is it that's orchestrating all of the hormones? We discussed how leptin, ghrelin, reverse T3, thyroid hormones, insulin, cortisol, they're all vitally important. And this, guys, is now week 3 of December to remember. So weight loss is not just about diet and exercise. We're going to talk today about how we can unpack your nervous system's raw power for weight loss. It's a hidden magic pill. In my ebook that we've been giving away called The Functional Approach to Weight Loss, Chapter 2, I believe, says the magic pill for weight loss is your nervous system. And I know it's weird to say it's a magic pill. I did it because I thought you were going to be saying like, oh, there's something I can swallow that makes me lose weight. What is the magic pill for weight loss? No, you can't swallow it. It is taking care of your nervous system, specifically your vagus nerve. So all during this special broadcast, which is going to be a short and sweet, direct 30 minutes, no commercial breaks, just you and me and the internet and the power that you have inside of your body. And we're going to unpack how the nervous system, specifically your vagus nerve, is intimately controlled for your hunger, your metabolism, your digestion, and even your stress response. Your nervous system is responsible for your weight loss. So if you're not losing weight, it means your nervous system isn't working. So if we can help you to unlock your body's natural systems, you can start shedding weight fast. So listen, I'm going to be honest. Buckle up. This is going to go fast, but it's going to be an eye-opening journey. And yes, I have research and I have things that can help to support it. I even have some cliff notes so that I can give you exactly what I found. It's great stuff. So I'll call this portion number 1. Ready? How your nervous system controls your weight. Because unfortunately, too many people don't understand the big picture. Your nervous system is like the CEO of your company. It's what makes decisions. It gives the orders. It manages the operations. It ensures everything's running smoothly. So when it comes to weight management, your nervous system is involved in 5 areas. And yes, we're going to list those 5 for you. If you're a note taker, now's the time to take out a pen and paper. If you're someone who's like, I'll just download it and watch it again, I challenge you on that. You know how many things I've downloaded that I said I was going to watch again and I never rewatched them? So take some notes, guys. Note takers are history makers. So number 1, your nervous system is intimately controlled in your appetite regulation. Listen to this. I'm going to read this specifically to you because it comes from the frontiers of neuroscience. Quote, the brain processes hunger and fullness signals through your nervous system. If that system is out of sync, perhaps because of chronic stress or inflammation, it can cause overeating and a lack of appetite control. Studies published in the Frontiers of Neuroscience show that the vagus nerve is responsible for appetite control and caloric intake. Now, let me translate this for you. Basically, your brain and the vagus nerve determine how much food you should eat and how hungry you are. This is profound, guys, because so many people are like, well, I switched to become a ketogenic, voric, Paleolithic dieter, and I'm still hungry all the time. That's a signal that your vagus nerve is not fully working. Your vagus nerve regulates your appetite. Number 2, here we go. Your vagus nerve regulates your metabolic rate. Your metabolism, i.e. the efficiency at how well you burn fats and proteins and carbs for energy, is controlled by, your vagus nerve. So if you want to maintain a good metabolic rate, your autonomic nervous system determines, are you in fight or flight, stress response? And when you're running from a feral cat, Bengal tiger, cheater, cougar, whatever, when you're in a state of stress, the last thing your body's thinking about is, you know what, maybe I should burn some fat right now. No, the last thing it wants to do is lose weight. The number one thing it wants to do is flood all the muscles with blood, push the energy towards your response systems, and it shuts down digestion. Why is this so important to know? Unfortunately, today, so many of us are stressed out. So to your nervous system, it's like, you're being chased by a polar bear 24/7, and that's why you can't lose weight. When you stimulate your vagus nerve, your metabolism speeds up and your weight starts to drop. Number 3, this is a big one. The very stress I just talked to you about, like how you respond to stress, is regulated by your vagus nerve. Like, think about how cool this is. Okay, so first of all, we said your vagus nerve regulates your appetite, how much food you want to eat and how much you need to eat to feel full. That's a vagal nerve response. Your metabolic rate, how fast you burn fats and proteins and carbs into energy, is a vagus nerve. And that has a lot to do with stress. When you're stressed out, your digestive system slows down. Now watch this. Your vagus nerve is responsible for how well you manage your stress. Chronic stress can trigger a sympathetic response, and it increases cortisol. Cortisol increases insulin. Insulin promotes fat storage. This is this struggle that so many people get stuck in. Weight loss is neurological and neurohormonal. And everybody's like, all right, I need to lose 15 pounds, so I guess I'll go to the gym. I guess I'll join a gym, and I'll go try to burn it off, and I'll just, eat sticks and dirt and mud. And it does not work. Going to the gym does not change your vagal nerve stress response. Going to the gym does not change how your hormones work. Going to the gym does not make you lose weight. I know it's going to sound strange, guys, because everybody's going to start signing up in January for their gym memberships. You're going to be pounced by all the fitness centers saying, come. We're going to help you lose weight. We're going to help you lose weight. And it doesn't do it. You should go to the gym to gain weight, put on muscle, gain weight. Number 4, your digestive system outright. The vagus nerve is intimately controlled. It moves all throughout your digestive tract. The nerve exits out of a small hole between your skull and the first bone of your neck called the atlas, and then it goes immediately and wraps itself around your esophagus, part of your throat, so where you swallow food. Then it goes down and it layers itself all over your stomach, and then it flips into the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, the pancreas. It goes even all the way down into the colon and the rectum. Like, the vagus nerve is the neurological extension of your brain into your digestive system. What's crazy is bloating and gas and digestion and nauseousness and constipation and diarrhea. There is an over-the-counter prescriptive and or non-prescriptive drug for every one of those symptoms. Yet they're caused often by vagal nerve interference. So if you're sluggish, if you're bloated, if you're refluxing, you have a vagal nerve issue. And number 5, this is the 5th thing the vagus nerve does in your body to help you not lose weight or lose weight if it's stimulated, is it regulates inflammation. Now, this is huge. Very, very few people talk about it. Everybody today is all looking for the greatest way to become less inflamed. I do the anti-inflammatory diet. I take anti-inflammatories. I eat these foods that are super high in antioxidants, Dr. Ernst, like I'm an anti-inflammatory king. Really? What are you doing for your vagus nerve? My what nerve? Yeah, your vagus nerve regulates the amount of inflammation in your body. If your vagus nerve is irritated, it is inflamed. Therefore, you are inflamed, and you could be an anti-inflammatory junkie. I only eat anti-inflammatory foods. I take anti-inflammatory supplements. In fact, I even take anti-inflammatories. Prescriptive. Doesn't matter. You can't get rid of inflammation truly in your body unless you fix your vagus nerve. So now that we've said the 5 things your vagus nerve does for you, let's talk more about this nerve itself. And look, it's a special broadcast today, right? So above and below, I have some links for you guys because here's the thing. The weight loss masterclass on Thursday was epic, like epic. I think we had like 400 plus people online. Everybody got tips and tools for their New Year's resolutions. Everybody's already on a journey towards losing weight for the next 2.5 weeks. And here's the thing, you missed it. It's Saturday, the event was on Thursday, but guess what? I recorded a special broadcast that I'm holding custom for the next 72 hours. Click the link above or below and you can watch it now. You can hop on the bandwagon now. Okay, the vagus nerve. This is your magic pill for weight loss. Ready? It is one of the most incredible parts of your nervous system because the nerve goes everywhere. It starts at the base of the brain. It travels down your neck. We mentioned it goes through the esophagus. It connects to every single organ in your body. Eyes, ears, nose, throat, heart, lungs, liver, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, you name it, digestive system, reproductive system, even your bladder is connected to your vagus nerve. So it's kind of important, right? If the nerve goes to every organ in your body, I think it's important. So let's break down sort of each of those things I talked about, the 5 impacts of how it affects your weight loss. Number 1, the research published in the journal Gastroenterology, and I'll put some links for you guys because I know there's always going to be somebody online like, prove it to me. I had someone earlier this week, I had put up a comment about how Dr. Josh Axe and a lot of other people said if you take a birth control pill, you have a 200+% likelihood of having hypothyroidism. And it's not that this is wrong, but some lady cops on. She's like, prove it to me. Like, where's the research that backs up that claim? I mean, that's cool. And I gave it to her because it exists. We don't make stuff up. We're not fake. We're real. We only tell you what's real. So listen to this. Ready? Research published in the journal Gastroenterology shows that if you stimulate the vagus nerve, you lose weight and you have less constipation. You have overall gut motility improvements, meaning you poop more. And get this, you lose weight. You stimulate the vagus nerve, you lose weight. Why? When you stimulate the vagus nerve, it immediately sends a signal to the stomach to say, you're full. It sends a signal to the brain to say, burn fat, and it sends a signal to you to say, stop eating because you are satisfied. So the stomach being full doesn't always send the satisfaction signal to the brain. There's a hormone that tells you your stomach is full. For a lot of you, that hormone doesn't work, so your stomach is literally full, but your brain's like, God, it's empty. I'm starving. So you constantly keep eating. It's an appetite regulation that happens because of the vagus nerve. So number 2, the vagus nerve sends that fullness signal to your stomach and your brain, and if that communication is disrupted, people tend to overeat. Has this ever happened to you? You eat a meal of a good portion, and then like 30 minutes later, you're like, God, I'm hungry again. That's because your vagus nerve isn't working. Number 3, it regulates your stress. A study done in the Journal of Nature Reviews in Endocrinology, highlighted how the vagus nerve actually regulates cortisone in your stress response. Remember, cortisol and cortisone stimulate insulin, which stimulates fat storage. So if you bring your cortisol levels down, your fat storage goes down, and that's vagal nerve connected. So here's the thing. Everybody's going to start asking, we're 14 minutes into a 30-minute show today. Well, Dr. Ernst, this is great. Thanks for telling me all the bad stuff about my vagus nerve. How do I stimulate my vagus nerve? How do I fix this issue? I know I have the problem. I'm always hungry all the time. I can't lose weight. I'm cranky. I'm moody. I'm not pooping. Like, I feel like I'm just falling apart. That's the average person, just, So how do we fix this? Step number 1, chiropractic care. Dr. Ernst, are you serious? I have to go to a chiropractor? Like, they're kooky, cracky, cranky. They're weirdos, right? They hang crystals with dream catchers over you and sing Kumbaya. No, not that kind of chiropractor. They're out there. They exist. I'm talking about structurally specific chiropractors who focus on the upper cervical vertebra, your skull, your atlas, and your axis. In the world of chiropractic, it's either termed upper cervical specific. These are people who are highly trained in just adjusting the top 3 vertebrae of your neck, or it's sometimes called structural specific in that they do measurement assessments of alignment. They use thermography. They use x-rays. On the Ask Dr. Ernst show, you know that we work with Cornerstone Health Centers. It's also the group that I own primarily. So, of course, we work with them. But we are expanding in the up-and-coming new year to have clinics across the U.S. Like, how exciting is that? We have 2 here in Charlotte. Pretty soon we're going to have probably 50 here in the Charlotte area. Then we're going to have North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, Like, it's happening, guys. We've been working on this for years. Chiropractic care is a game changer when it comes to weight loss. What? Like, seriously, going to a chiropractor is going to help me to lose weight? Well, if you understand that a chiropractic adjustment, excuse me for that, a chiropractic adjustment releases the stress on your nervous system. That release stimulates the vagus nerve. So when a chiropractor adjusts your spine, they are removing interference, allowing for the expression of life through the nerve roots. And if they adjust C0, your skull, C1, your atlas, to create a more open space, the vagus goes like, oh, thank you, boom, and it does those top 5 things for you. This is not just something theoretical. It's not just like a good idea. A study done in the Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapeutics. That's a mouthful, isn't it? The Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapeutics found that people who go to a chiropractor have a more enhanced vagal nerve tone. Ready for this? Tone, meaning signal. And the chiropractic research has shown restoration of thyroid function, restoration of cortisol, restoration of cholesterol, restoration of liver functions, restoration of digestive issues. Like, the Journal of Manipulative Therapies has countless peer-reviewed published studies showing chiropractic care stimulates the vagal and the central nervous system, and that gives an effect into the organ systems of your body. Check this out. Chiropractic care for thyroid, for example. It is well known that the mid-level lower cervical vertebrae, see 5, 6, and 7, are the neurological wire to the thyroid. If your neck is out of alignment and the 5, 6, 7 nerve roots are subluxated or interfered with, the signal across the nerve goes down, just like, ready for this, the signal on my microphone is slowly going down despite the fact that I am talking at the same volume the whole time, and eventually it is going to go off. And what you're going to hear is a very, very light, and it's not your speakers, guys. It's the fact that I am changing the gain on my microphone. So I'm over here actually changing the gain. And so what you just experienced was a subtle decrease as I turned down the signal in this wire back to the normal, which is where I am. Watch, if I cut it off completely, you won't be able to hear a single word I'm saying. If I turn it back on, you can hear the words I'm saying. I have a regulating control box that is determining how loud this microphone is. If I do it too loud, it's going to blow your speakers. If I do it too soft, you won't be able to hear me. That's your spine. The position of your spine determines the amount of pressure on the nerve. If the nerve is interfered with, you don't get the full signal. And when your thyroid doesn't get the signal from your brain to make TSH at 100%, it doesn't. When your pancreas doesn't get the signal from your brain to make insulin at the same rate, it doesn't. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? When your digestive system doesn't get the signal from your brain, it doesn't. And when your digestive system doesn't work, you don't poop, you fill up with stool, you get sick, you get toxic, your stress goes through the roof, your cortisol goes up, your insulin goes up, and you gain weight. And then you go to the gym and change your diet and think you're going to fix it. Like, nuh-uh, it's not going to work. So chiropractic care is one of the most profound ways to stimulate your nervous system, because when you remove pressure via the correct chiropractic adjustment, it opens up a life force. You activate the parasympathetic system, which is the vagal system, which reduces stress-related cortisol production, calms your body, supports natural healing, stimulates the vagus nerve, and it is the greatest holistic approach. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're not getting the right kind of chiropractic care, you should know it. If you constantly have to keep going back week after week and your issue resolves but gets better, resolves but gets better, resolves but comes back, and resolves and comes back, the waxing, waning, I feel really good as long as I go to my chiropractor every week. That's a problem. You should have lasting effects. If you release the vagus nerve and you sustain and maintain its position, it should be a lifetime of vibrance, vitality. You should not be in pain. It should not be coming back. Your body is designed to take care of itself. Unfortunately, today, a lot of chiropractors, they do adjustments that are more like manipulations, not specific to the segment themselves. It's the difference between Cornerstone Health Centers and the structural upper cervical groups than just going to a chiropractor. One way to know if you're at a good chiropractic office: when was your last x-ray? If it is greater than 6 months ago or a year, you're in the wrong place. Well, doc, my chiropractor's never taken an x-ray. Run as fast as you can out of that clinic, in my opinion. It'd be like you go to a dentist who filled a tooth and never took an x-ray. Like, that's insane. So don't go to a chiropractor who doesn't take x-rays. Okay, deep breathing. Yes, deep breathing can help to stimulate your vagus nerve. I knew you were going to ask, like, Dr. Ernst, what about if I sit in a lotus pose and I go, like, isn't that going to stimulate my vagus nerve? It can, but if the nerve is already interfered with and you try to stimulate it through breathing, good luck. 40% compression of the vagus nerve. Deep breathing will only get you up to 60% max capacity. Now, that might be better than the 20% that you're at right now because you're not breathing at all, but you've got to get your vagus nerve unlocked. That's why chiropractic care is numero uno. Okay, so does deep breathing and breath work stimulate the vagus nerve? It can, but only to the maximum capacity of the vagus nerve as it exits your skull. Can meditation and mindfulness and gratitude and prayer stimulate your vagus nerve? Yes. The research shows that the more you spend times in peace and calm and reflection and relaxation, your parasympathetic system goes up. But it will only go up to the maximum capacity that your vagus nerve offers you. If you have a 30% compression to your vagus nerve visible by a chiropractic structural exam, that means you have 70% signal flowing through it. You can only pray and meditate your way to 70%. You can only deep breathe yourself away to 70%. If you want 100%, you have to confirm via a structural exam that your skull and your atlas are wide open and the vagus nerve is not interfered with. There's a thermography and an x-ray exam that can be done by structural specific chiropractors that can do this and show it to you. What about cold exposure, Dr. Ernst? It's all over the internet. Man, Sam's Club is selling cold plunges. Costco has an at-home cold plunge. There's even a company I saw that sells like an air conditioning unit that you plug in and you put these tubes into your bathtub and it sucks the water out of your bathtub, cools it down, and puts it back in your bathtub so it gets down to like 40 or 50 degrees. Cold exposure is also shown to stimulate the vagus nerve, but it can only go to the maximum capacity of your vagus nerve. Do you guys see? This is why chiropractic is not just a luxury item that you get to choose if your insurance accepts it. No, it is a life force vitality that you must do. Just like you must shower, you must brush your teeth, you must pray every day, you must tithe, you must get your spine worked on because it is your life. Your lifeline flows from your brain into your body. And the reason so many people are not losing weight naturally is they don't ever do anything to stimulate their vagus nerve. Oh, but Dr. Ernst, I do yoga, Pilates, massage, I get cold plunges, I do the deep breath work. My vagus nerve must be fully stimulated. Can't say that. It's fully stimulated to the maximum capacity that your nervous system offers it. Again, remember, 25% vagal nerve compression, you're only getting, 85%? No, 15%. You're only getting 15% of your maximum power. 40% compression, you're only getting 60%. 80% compression, oh my God, you're only getting 20%. So yes, you're doing all these amazing things to stimulate your vagus nerve, but it doesn't sound like you're removing the pressure on the first place. It'd be like a garden hose. The faucet is wide open. Does that mean you're fully flushing whatever, washing, watering whatever? No. If you are standing on that hose, blocking it by 50%, only half the water comes out, even though the faucet is 100%. You could do all the prayer and meditation and yoga and Pilates and massage and even all the working out and dieting and supplementation. It isn't going to get any better than 50%. But Dr. Ernst, you don't understand. As soon as I started cold plunging, as soon as I started meditating, as soon as I started deep breathing, I lost 5 or 10 pounds. So my vagus nerve must be getting better. Well, sure. But it's only getting better to the maximum capacity that your nervous system allots based upon your structural assessment. If I had to say anything today to you on how to lose weight effortlessly, it is visit your local chiropractor and get a structural, spinal, neurological exam. They should be doing thermography. They should be doing posture evaluations, and they better be taking a structural specific x-ray to measure the spacing and the angles of your neck bones to confirm they're in perfect alignment from the front and the side, and that the atlas, the axis, and your occiput are in perfect alignment. Then get this, all the research I found is true. The frontiers of neuroscience say vagus nerve stimulation will help to improve appetite control and make you intake less food. Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapy says if you let a chiropractor stimulate your vagus nerve, you not only heal, but you balance your parasympathetic and autonomic nervous systems, and you get less stressed. Watch this. The Journal of Gastroenterology says if you stimulate your vagus nerve, you go to the bathroom more frequently, you empty your colon more regularly, and you physically, by mood, feel better. Look at this. Nature Reviews in Endocrinology. The vagus nerve helps to activate cortisol and prevent stress-induced weight gain. That's cool, isn't it? How about the American Journal of Physiology? Proper vagal nerve stimulation supports liver, thyroid, and splenic metabolism for immune system function and for hormone control. The studies confirm what chiropractic has been saying since 1898. If your vagus nerve is working, you will lose weight, feel great, be energized, and have control of your health, which is what everybody wants this year. So look, as I wrap up today's special broadcast, I want you to remember this. Weight loss is not about calories. It's not about restricting calories. It's not about working out harder. It is about ensuring that your nervous system is working, that your digestive system is moving, that your hormones are balanced, and you are not toxic. It's time to visit your local chiropractor and get your spine adjusted. Get your nervous system turned on so you unlock the weight loss magic found within it. For more tips and resources, visit AskDrErnst.com. Click the link above or below, and you can rewatch the masterclass I did on Thursday. It gives you all the answers of how to make December a month to remember. And next week, we're going to go over how your gut is intimately connected to your weight. And we're going to talk to you about cleaning up your gut so you can clean up your weight. Just like today, we talked about cleaning up your spine so you can lose weight. It's all possible. You just have to become your own doctor. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Hey, it's a show where your wealth can be found in your health, where your life can be found inside your body, not the outside. We're not going to be doing lotions and potions and medications and creams. Nothing from the outside in here, only inside out regeneration and healing. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst. Yes, we've been in a series this December on weight loss, and today's topic is your gut and how it relates to weight loss resistance. We are streaming online. We have our Facebook camera right there. We have our X or X used to be Twitter camera there. We have our YouTube and our, Amazon feeds. And also, maybe you're tuning in on the podcast. Maybe you're listening on the online stream. Yes, yet again, we're off the airways due to a Tar Heels game. But guess what? We're going to dive into a topic that I believe is affecting almost everyone. Millions upon millions of Americans today are dealing with this condition where visceral fat, leaky gut, and weight loss resistance are a big deal. And I'm talking about that sort of glug that you haul around between your belly button and your back. And everybody's like, if I could just go to the gym and work out harder, I would be able to get, six-pack abs. Guys, what's missing is the L. Ready? Fat doesn't look flat, okay? So these are fat abs, not flat abs, okay? So the L missing means you got to pay attention and recognize the L, get it? The L is leaky gut. So if you want flat abs, you got to take the fat and add the L to make them flat. Boy, I hope you see it. I was really trying here. It's second to last major Saturday of the year. It's the 21st, guys. Next, it's almost no longer the end of 2024. And so, yes, we have a special broadcast. I know you're watching online only or listening to the podcast. We wanted to say welcome to you and you and you and you. And let's have some fun today. So if you stick with me for the next 30 minutes, we're going to uncover something extravagant. We're going to talk about the dangers of visceral fat, the causes of leaky gut. I'm going to help you to reverse that so you can lose weight fast. And I'm going to show you the cutting edge research and even peer-reviewed articles that back up everything we talk about today. Some people are always like, isn't this just conjecture? Don't you just hop on the radio to try to convince me that I should do something that has no science behind it? I don't know about you, but that would be an absolute waste of my time. It is a lot of effort to get to this studio every Saturday and be live for you guys. I don't know about you, but why don't you try to do it for 15 years? And then what you'll realize is, oh my God, they actually care. They're actually doing this out of the graciousness of their heart. We invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into technology, into cameras and equipment and sound devices so we could be leading edge and cutting edge. And I even did an interview with ChatGPT not too long ago. You should check that podcast out. It was phenomenal. So let's get into the nitty gritty of it, right? And listen, all during the show today, click the link above or below, and guess what? You can enter to win some extravagant gifts. I have some Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey tickets. They're going to be here. I think it's in late January, early February. These are 2 tickets completely free, yours. We're giving away in January. 50 people can have their labs reviewed at no cost, 100% free, and have a complete functional report with diet and supplemental recommendations made for them for free. It's only the first 50. So you're going to see above and below some links you can click so you can register and sign up and become a part of that. But, we're just doing some fun things. We're making sure that everybody's having fun together. And, it's the end of the year. And we're just going to have a blast. And I'm going to teach you guys a ton. Hey, one of my cameras just went to sleep, so I'm trying to reboot that, so give me a second. But the dangers of visceral fat. Okay, so let's begin with that. Visceral fat. Now, when you hear the word fat, you usually think of the jiggly stuff underneath your skin. All right, so I'm going to see what happens with this camera, but for now, I'll work off these two. Okay, so you're usually thinking of the fat you can pinch and grab or around your stomach mostly. And oftentimes what happens is we'll say if I could just get rid of all this skin or fat under my skin. And that's different, okay? Visceral fat is not that kind of fat. What visceral fat is it's the fat that's found around your intestines and your heart and inside your liver. So there's a huge difference between fat of the visceral tissues, organs, and subcutaneous fat. Between the two of them, visceral fat is 10,000 times more dangerous because it's hidden. You can't see it, feel it. It's inside, it wraps around your organs, okay? Why is it so dangerous? Well, listen to this. Research shows that visceral fat isn't just sitting there doing nothing. It's metabolically active. It secretes hormones. It secretes chemicals. It releases more importantly for your health, something called an inflammatory cytokine. And it actually, these fat cells can release hormones like cortisol and insulin, and they're crazy because it's fat-derived hormones. One study published in the American Journal of College of Cardiology in 2016 found that if you have high levels of visceral fat, you have significantly higher levels of developing cardiovascular disease, even if you are of normal weight. So I know this is kind of scary. So like if you're an average male, 170, 180, 190, depending upon your height. But if you weigh the average adult male weight of good health now, you might be like, I can't remember the last time I weighed 170, Dr. Ernst. Where are you getting the average statistics from? Healthy men, 5'11", 6 foot, should be about 170, 180 pounds. You could be perfect weight, but be riddled with visceral fat, and that's what can create heart disease. Here's what you need to know. Visceral fat is always a sign of a metabolic dysfunction. When your body's inflamed, it stores fat, and the fat starts to pile up around our organs, and this can increase insulin resistance, and it creates this vicious cycle. So for a lot of the times, what we'll say is visceral fat is literally a metabolic mess. Now, what does visceral fat have to do with leaky gut? I want you to think of the visceral fat around your abdomen as like a blanket. If your gut is leaking, toxins, bacteria, viruses, all kinds of crud is getting into your blood, so your body's not stupid. It says, hey, we need to put some fat down there like a blanket and soak it all up. Like, Bounty Quicker Picker Upper soaks up that watery mess on the countertop. Visceral fat, abdominal omentum, as it's called, the fat of your abdomen, will act like a blanket and soak up all the crud that's leaking as a first-line defense to try to save your life because your body's not stupid. It wants you well. So if you have a leaky gut and you're wondering why you can't get rid of this flab here, then guess what? It's because of the fact that there's visceral fat. So what I want to talk about with a leaky gut is this. Your gut lining should act like a secure fence. So think of it like it keeps out things you don't want in your yard, right? You don't want food particles, undigested food particles. That's a big deal for a lot of you. You're leaking undigested proteins across the membrane into your blood, and then it spikes a response where your immune system freaks out because it sees bits and pieces of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and meat products and all the stuff you eat. And so it builds an alarm, like an immune reaction. So we get what are called food sensitivities from that. It also protects you from toxins and bacteria and viruses and parasites and all the stuff that's in our gut. So what happens if you have little tiny holes in your fence? Okay? Think of it as like a filter, right? It should be really tight, only letting certain things through, but if it gets too big, then there's a problem. In the scientific world, this is called increased intestinal permeability. So what I don't want you to do is make the mistake and go to Google and say, does leaky gut exist? They're going to say, no, there's no such thing as a leaky gut. It's a common term, okay? Instead, what you should say, does increased intestinal permeability exist? And boom, research article after research article. And here's the unique thing. When you have increased intestinal permeability, what happens is the lining gets damaged, certain things leak through, it's now permeable, toxins and food particles and pathogens get in your bloodstream, and here's the thing, that will initiate an overactive immune response, which leads to inflammation, and then the reaction is your body says, put fat there because I don't want all these critters crawling around in my bloodstream. Okay, proof. Ready? 2015. Yes, it's about 10 years ago. In the journal Nutrients, they confirmed that leaky gut contributes to obesity and weight loss resistance and metabolic syndrome, aka diabetes, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. Metabolic syndrome is defined as, having 3 or more of the following. You have a waist that is bigger than it should be. You have blood pressure that's higher than it should be, cholesterol higher than it should be, blood sugar's higher than they should be, or you have all 4 of them like most Americans. Okay, so like if you're walking around with a pulse and you're not at your ideal weight and you take a medication for at least 1 or 2 things, that's metabolic syndrome. What is it that causes the leaky gut? Like, why would someone ever end up with a gut leak or holes in their intestines? And I don't mean it as proverbial holes. So I don't want you to think it means that you're leaking stool into your abdominal cavity. That would be like sepsis, and you can die from that. Like physical holes, no. These are microscopic, little tiny perforations between the cells. Here's what usually causes this, okay? And I think you would understand it. It's the standard American diet. The fact that we have this SAD diet, standard American diet, SAD, processed foods loaded with sugar, gluten, seed oils, rapeseed oil, canola, sunflower seeds, soy, corn, wheat, rice, oats, heavy pesticides. All the foods that most people eat will punch microscopic holes in your intestines. Get this, the medications that we take actually break down the gap junctions and cause a leak. So you take a drug to try to fix your high blood pressure, which is caused by a gut leak, and then you cause more gut leak, which makes your blood pressure go up. And then you go back to your doctor and you say, hey, this thing's no longer working. Well, we'll just give you more. And it's a vicious cycle. It could be the fact that you've been exposed to pesticides or heavy metals, or you have a lot of toxins, plastic, dioxins, PCBs, PFOAs, like they're everywhere. And then it's the sheer fact that most people are just stressed because stress induces a weakness to the lining of your intestines. So the big issue is this: leaky gut and visceral fat feed each other. The leakier your gut, the more visceral fat you have. The more visceral fat you have, the more inflamed you are. The more your cortisol goes up, the more stressed you are, the more your gut leaks. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the vicious cycle that no one talks about how to get out of. So as I mentioned, if you're inflamed, your gut's going to get leaky. If you're leaky, you're going to be inflamed. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So let's transition. Fixing a gut leak. I'm going to give you a free, you're going to love this, at-home solution to do this. And here's the part I think you've been waiting for, right? Fixing and sealing your gut for free. The solution is often termed either the 3R or the 4R method. You can go online and look it up. Like, it's readily available. There's even infographics, and I've done previous podcasts about this. Lots of people have, but hopefully it makes sense. First R, remove. Stop poisoning yourself with the processed foods, the gluten, the seed oils, the overuse of anxiety medications, NSAIDs, by the way, and proton pump inhibitors, and antibiotics, and medications for blood pressure and cholesterol and thyroid. You're going to have to figure out how to decrease and or get off. So you do need to find someone to help you, professionally with that. Like that's a challenge for most people. Then we also need to make sure that you're paying attention to what you put in your body. So what do, right? I got another camera's going out on me. This is like the most hilarious thing when it comes to, being live. Thank God. This is why I've learned to have more than one camera. I used to only have one camera, and what would happen is it would crap out, and everybody would go, what's going on? Where's the feed? So we're going to let that thing boot up and see what happens. Anyway, you must eliminate the food that you're putting in your body that's wreaking havoc on your body. That is, again, things that are highly processed and contaminated and sprayed with pesticides and herbicides and has mold and the sort, refined sugars and processed sugars. If you saw one of my Facebook live feeds a while ago, I was standing in Whole Foods going through different cereals talking about how even the organic and even the non-GMO and even the gluten-free ones are bad, especially when it comes to things like grains, wheat and corn and rice and oats and soy and all of those things that are like physically toxic that are causing problems with the human body because they're massively inflammatory. I mean, massively inflammatory. So we remove grains, wheat, corn, rice, oats. We remove processed foods, refined sugars. We remove the inflammatory oils, the seed oils, canola, sunflower, soybeans. And then we can remove food. Studies in the 2019 Cell Metabolism Report show that the best way to regenerate your intestines and stop it from leaking is to intermittently fast and to even do block fasting. So you take food away for a day, 2, 3, your intestines innately start to regenerate. So it's remove processed foods, remove grains, remove sugar, remove the seed oils, and even for a period of time, just remove food so that you don't hurt your intestines. Then we want to let it repair. Part of the repair process is just the body will do it by itself. The neat thing, ready for this, is if you just take stress away, the human body regenerates. It's what it's designed to do. So if we offer a level of regeneration by removing the stress and the irritation to the intestines, which is food in general, you can do this. One of the greatest ways to encourage that is by doing bone broth fasting, because bone broth is a reparative food for your gut. Bone broth is super loaded with collagen and amino acids like glutamine, which repairs the lining of the intestines. A 2017 study found in the journal Nutrient said glutamine can physically reduce intestinal permeability. This is why many leaky gut repair supplements are basically just glutamine powder that you stir in water and drink, because most human beings are deficient in the amino acid glutamine. Then you can do reparative nutrients like apple cider vinegar, which helps to balance the pH of the intestine and regenerates the cell lining. So you can put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in 8 ounces of water and drink that a couple times a day. But in essence, you let the intestines repair. A little pro tip, because no one talks about this. Your intestines are directly connected to your brain for regeneration and repair through the nervous system. So making sure your vagus nerve and the lumbar spine, so L1, 2, 3, 4, your low back, making sure that there's no neurological interference will help with regeneration and repair. So step 1, remove. Step 2, repair. Step 3, reseed. Some people call it re-inoculate. We know the colon's full of healthy bacteria. We know this. But many of us have taken antibiotics, or we're using products with antibiotics, and we kill it down. So you want to support the microbiome, and you can do that mostly with fermented foods. I know you thought I was going to say take a probiotic, but remember, living, raw, live, healthy bacteria are way better for you. So eating foods that have been fermented in a good way, like kimchis and sauerkrauts and pickles and, kefirs, the amasis, the sort of fermented healthy dairy beverages. That's great. Drinking fermented beverages that are non-alcoholic. I want to make sure I really, really say this. Non-alcoholic. Not beer and wine and alcohol, but like, kombuchas and water kefirs and beverages that have been fermented to like 1 or 2% will have a ton of healthy bacteria. And these will help to re-inoculate your colon. Something real simple is to just start putting, a lob or 2 of sauerkraut or kimchi as a side to your main dishes for lunch and dinner. Or you can have water kefir instead of drinking water. Or you can have a small amount of kombucha. I say small because a lot of kombuchas are loaded with sugar and fruit juice today. So we remove, we repair, we regenerate, and we re-inoculate, right? The 4 R's. Now, some people will say repair and regenerate are the same. I think it's a little different. I look at repair as like give your body the time to heal itself. So fasting for 2 or 3 days. And I think regenerate comes innately. Like your body is regenerative. Cut your skin, it grows back. Break a bone, it goes back. Stop eating food, your gut will grow back. It'll physically reline itself. The gut lining, by the way, replaces itself regularly. So every 2 weeks or so, it's regenerating on its own. And this is why it's good to do probiotic and prebiotics on a rotation. 2 weeks pre, 2 weeks pro. 2 weeks pre, 2 weeks pro. A lot of people make a huge mistake. They take probiotics every day, and that's not the best thing to do. You want to rotate them. So let's talk about some of the results you would see. If you follow the protocol that I just mentioned to you for 30 days, So you start to fast for maybe 2 or 3 days. You're removing all these foods for 30 days. You give your body some bone broth on a daily basis, and you re-inoculate with fermented foods and rotational probiotics. You should see reduced digestive issues, less bloating, less gas, less inflammation, less constipation, less diarrhea, like it should come inherently. Then you'll find lower inflammation. Then you'll find reduced visceral fat. Then you'll find improved energy, mental clarity, and weight loss. Like, it's really that easy because your gut is a major system of repair and regeneration. Studies have shown that if you heal your gut, your metabolism can improve, your inflammation can reduce, your body can shed stubborn weight. And this 3 to 4R method is basically free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And then the nice thing is it's 100% natural, and it encourages regeneration without using outside sources. So, hey, to wrap up this short and sweet special broadcast of the Ask Dr. Ernst show, remember, visceral fat and leaky gut are like two sides of the same coin. You can't just say, well, I'm good weight, so therefore I must have no visceral fat. And you can't say because I have good visceral fats, I must be at an ideal weight. They're two separate things. They each fuel each other, though. A leaky gut is usually the root cause of most people's digestive problems, and it stems over into everything. We have brain fog, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, thyroid issues, both Hashimoto's and Graves. We have sinus issues. We even have problems with what I'll call things like, arthritis and inflammation and joint pain and adrenal issues and chronic fatigue, all this stuff, diabetes, heart disease, it all stems from your gut. Then, because the gut's leaking, you'll build an additional omentum. It's the natural blanket that we all have of fat that lays over our stomach. Some of you, that blanket is like a full-on, puff pillow Afghan. And for others of you, it's about the width of a sheet. So you want it to be thin and protective, but not massive and full of toxins. So when you address the root cause, your gut health, you break the cycle, you reduce inflammation, and you can reclaim your health. And remember, healing is never about a quick fix. Like, this isn't just going to be you wake up next week and you're like, there are my six-pack abs. You have to remove toxins. You have to repair your gut. You have to give your body the tools that it needs, glutamine and proline and fermented foods, time. You have to stop eating crap, carbonated beverages, refined foods, artificial flavorings, and processed or packaged food items, crap. And then you just have to wait. So, it's the, 21st? You got like a week and a half left of this new year, until the new year, and you can make a huge change between now and then. So look, if you want more tips on how to restore and repair yourself, head on over to AskDrErnst.com. It's AskDrErnst.com. Lots of free resources. Hit the magnifying glass, type in leaky gut, type in weight loss resistance. Listen to the podcasts. Go back to the previous ones. Go to iTunes podcast, Ask Dr. Ernst. You can listen to every single show I've ever done since as far back as iTunes will hold it. Go and listen to the masterclass that I did last week. I've emailed all of you free access links. And if you don't get our emails, again, go to the website, sign up for the free ebooks. It'll say subscribe now, and it's all yours for free. And until I see you next week, have an exceptional weekend. May today's show bless you. And remember, it's real simple. You can repair and regenerate, renoculate, and remove your gut yourself. Don't remove your gut. Remove the foods. You can do the 4 hours yourself. It's completely free. In as little as 2 weeks, you can have massive transformations with your health, losing 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds. If you just do those 4 R's letter for letter, remove anything that is fake, processed, and not of God foods. If it's man-made, don't eat it. If it comes from the earth and God made it, eat it. Then you want to let it repair and regenerate. It'll do it by itself. Just stop eating foods. Start fasting. Start brothing. Give it some time. Then re-inoculate. Use the probiotics. Use your fermented foods and let your body just go through that for 3 to 4 weeks, and you will find drastic results are free. And don't forget to tune in every Saturday, 3 p.m., no matter if there's a Tar Heels game or not. We always stream live. Like and subscribe, hit the channels, hit the bells, hit the buttons, whatever you guys need so you can stay tuned with us. And I will see you next Saturday, which, by the way, can you believe that next Saturday is the 28th? And that means the end of the year. We have one more show to really prime you for January. And as a little tidbit, in January, I'm going to do a New Year to New You total body makeover class, completely free, online. It's yours. Hang tight. You'll get some links and info about that. But I'll see you guys next Saturday. Be blessed until then. Hey, it's Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst show. And look, December is almost over, so why don't we give some fun things away? Hey, I've got 2 tickets to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey's Greatest Show on Earth, Saturday, January 18th. 100% yours. Text your name and your email to 704-906-2094. We'll draw them at the end of the year. I'm also going to gift you a $100 gift card so that when you're at the event, you can get some awesome snacks, have a great time. Hey, it's 100% free. It's all on us from the Ask Dr. Ernst show and News Talk 1110 WBT. All you have to do is text your name and your email to 704-906-2094. Once again, 704-906-2094. The show is Saturday, January 18th. Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey, the Greatest Show on Earth, plus a $100 gift card from us to you. Text your first name, your last name, and your email to 704-906-2094, and you could win.